Hello everybody, Emily from the future coming to you to to give you a little extra intro before you watch this episode. And yes, I am in my jammies because I was editing and I needed to give you a little context, and this is just me. You see me as I am. By the way, I did get my nails done. I talk about it ad nauseum. Like I mentioned it like 15 times that I need to hurry up and get to my nail appointment in this episode. So anyway, the reason why I'm coming on to you right now is to let you know that at multiple points during this video, I mentioned that this might be a cast on for New Year's Eve, that might be a cast on for New Year's Day, so on and so forth. So I want you to know that a lot of those things that I mentioned have already come to fruition. So you're going to want to see my regularly scheduled episodes. Sorry, there's a glare. So a lot of those things have already come to fruition. So you're just going to need to stay tuned for my regular episode when I get a chance to record that. But I just think it's weird to be watching something that somebody posted on like January 3rd or January 4th, whichever day this comes out, and yet they're talking about what they're going to do for the New Year's. Yeah, I thought it was weird, so I wanted to preempt that. And yes, Teddy is needing a lot of cuddles because I groomed them today, and so they are like, "Mommy, what did you do to us? Mommy, tell me everything is okay." Anyway, but other than that, enjoy. I really had a fun time recording this episode and making plans and scheming my little fingers off about what I'm going to be doing for 2026. So thank you for watching. Take care, everybody. And remember to stitch what you love and love what you stitch. Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to a special episode of the Kindredstitchfolk. I'm Emily, here with my blind dog, Teddy, who's trying to figure out where he wants to be. I am filming this right after my Whip Parade episode, and so same clothing. I don't know how much I will get done. The sun is setting. I've got the lamps on. Probably won't do well to film this in the Alaska dark, even with all the lamps on. So this might be a couple day episode compilation. Who knows? But this episode is all about my 2026 plans. As I showed you in my Whip Parade, I have been utilizing my Whip Warriors 2026 diary, and I have been pre-planning, and I've made up a couple copies of the Whipco board that was included in here, and I've also made up, so I made up 1, 2, 3 copies of the Whipco board, because I might need them all. But I also designed my own design board, and this is not necessarily for Whip Go or anything like that, or anything, but it's literally, I was just thinking, I have 12 squares in here. No, I have 16 squares in here, so that's why there's nothing down here. But I have plans for putting out my patterns that I've been working on over the next 12 months, and so I was kind of just planning out on here visually what things I would like to put out and in what order. So I have got in the works right now one of the my Aurora Fox. Why aren't you on here? That is so weird. My Aurora Fox pattern, I believe, is ready to be published, but I haven't stitched it. I've just designed it. So I don't know. Is it a thing where you need to stitch what you design? I would like to, but it is a full color cover. I've got a whole series based off of the Aurora Borealis that I'm gonna that I'm in the midst of designing to then put out, and they're all gonna be full coverage, but they're gonna be really small, like 3x5. And then I've got a whole series of Alaska wildflowers to do. I've got a whole series of some I don't really want to get into it because I don't want to spoil it. I also really don't want people to take my ideas. But I've got series upon series. And actually, I could easily fill up this one down here because there's a whole nother series of stitches that I want to design to put out down there. But anyway, I just filled that up. And then I filled up my focus pieces. And then if I decide to do 25 and 25, I haven't finished filling out all of it yet. I could easily do that, but my focus pieces, these are things I know are going to be worked on. And I don't know exactly how Whip Warrior works. I'm going to read to you the front of this. You can get this on Amazon. That's where I got it. But Whip Warrior streams. There's a group on Facebook called Whip Warrior. I'll see if I can't link that down below. I just asked to be a member of it, and it took me a very long time to find the group. Very long time. So I'm just letting you know. So it says Whip Warrior streams. This is by a lady who designed this whole series of stuff out of Australia. So members of Whip Warriors must choose which main challenge stream they want to follow for the year. The reason, oh, there's a spelling mistake there, is to keep you accountable to yourself and get work done on your whips. So the first stream is no new starts. Obviously, I'm not following that. This is the original and most strict of the challenge streams, but the rules are really simple. You can start the year with as many whips as you like, but for the duration of the challenge, you are not allowed to start anything. Nothing. All caps. And this is for the full year of 2026, mind you. Okay, focus X. Select 10 whips or less to focus on for the year. You cannot work on any others until you have a finish. How many can you finish this year by focusing? Still not going to be me. 26 and 26. At any one time, you may have up to 26 projects. Following the stream, there are only 2 ways to start a new project. Finish an existing project or start the year with less than 26 projects and use the surplus spaces as a new start. If at some point you decide to abandon a project, unfortunately, you cannot restart it or replace it with something else. Choose your projects carefully. Okay, so then the last stream is stitch what you want when you want, or the acronym of SWEE. So relaxed, it might as well be on holidays. Like it says on the label, stitch what you want when you want. Do you want a new start? Sure, go right ahead. But try and remember, the aim of this group is to progress what you already have. So give yourself some goals or make a plan and do your best. Now, from what I read on the rules when I signed up for the group on Facebook, they are pretty strict. There's this whole thing in here. So here's a yearly whip tracker. Here's another whip go board. Okay, this is it, thread tracker. I'm still confused about this. I don't know what this means exactly, but it's for each month, and apparently you earn threads. I don't know if you earn threads by completing a project, working on a project, focusing on a project. I don't know. But then it goes into the month by month, and they have, I don't know what Strident Sal is. I'll have to look that up. Whip Frenzy. They've got whip words. So I'm assuming these are all things that will be explained when I'm in the group itself, because there's things like Stitch and Seek. That sounds like a fun game. And then there's these challenges, and then just blank boxes. Like, what's going on there? And then each week you can list out exactly what you focused on and how you do. And it goes week by week, month by month. And I really liked it. I'm going to give it a try. Okay? I have no idea if I'll be able to keep up on it. I do know that when reading the rules to sign up for the group, they are very strict. If you do not keep up on it, they will kick you out. And I understand that. And I am fully prepared that I might be kicked out, because my goals in 2026 don't technically align with any of the streams that they have. I am not working to finish necessarily, like I'm gonna have a lot of new starts. So the first stream is out, so let's go back to that really quick. I can do this. Okay, streams, no new starts. That one's completely out for me. Focus X, select 10 whips or less no, that's not going to work for me either. 26 and 26 could work for me. And I specifically left some of this blank so that I could fill it in, even though I kind of know what I'm doing in 2026. But it says here, if at some point you decide to abandon a project. Okay, so at any one time, you may have up to 26 projects. Following this stream, there's only 2 ways to start a new project. Finish an existing project or start the year with less than 26. Okay, so I'm starting the year with less than 26. The reason why not starting any new projects unless you finish a project might not work for me is because I'm front loading the year up through July with as many starts as I want, so that once July 24th hits, I can finish a whole bunch of projects to count in my 45 for 45. So I don't know if I have to start a whole new game and kind of come up with my own rules or what, but I just kind of want to join in, you know? So on things. So I did write up a WIPCO board, and some of the spaces have very specific projects in them, and I numbered the board here. You see how it's hard sometimes to read what you write because of the splotches? And some of them just have a theme in them. So one of my goals for 2026 is to do the 13 patriotics for 1776, 250th bicentennial anniversary, whatever you want to call it, thing going on. I do really want to do that. The thing about it is though, I'm not sitting here saying that I have to have 13 done by, let's say, July 4th or anything like that. I just want to be stitching on them this year, right? And then if I have some done for July 4th to put up, great. But if I don't, because I've decided to leave them until July 24th for my birthday to finish, I'm not going to be upset, because then that counts for my 45 and 45. Anyway, so I've got that in there. Oh, I've got a blank space. See, I didn't even notice I had a blank space because of the gray stuff on there. I thought I wrote something in there. I better write something in there. But I've got at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got my WIPCO board loaded with 6 patriotic squares. None of these have been started. So while it says WIPCO, I'm just putting projects in there that I've either started or that I want to do this year. But I do have a lot in here. Everything else that's in here besides some patriotic, yeah, everything else are things that I've already been working on or need to restart. Okay, so for the month of January, Jess Marie Makes Stuff, whatever her name is, that came up with this, she's already pulled the numbers for January. So for January, the squares called were 2 and 7. So that starts on January 1st. Number 2 square on my WIPCO board is a patriotic small. So I need to pick a patriotic. The number 7 is my Santa Bear stamped kit, which if you want to see an image of, go back to my last, or you want to see my progress on, go back to my last episode. So that's going to be nice, because I'm going to have, starting the year off strong, because I love working on my Santa Bear. So I'm not going to begrudge that whatsoever. And also, it'll get me going on the patriotic smalls. I'm so excited about that. So yes, I've got lots of plans. And that doesn't really even encompass all the plans I've got going on below me. I need a spice drop. Does anybody else love spice drops for Christmas? My mother and sisters and I, we love them. And Jimmy loves them too. Okay, so let's start with what I'm casting on New Year's Eve. I have been holding on to this kit for at least 6 months. I know that's not really technically very long, but for me it is, because I have been wanting to stitch this pattern for over a year. And I had the actual digital pattern in my library. I got fabric for it. I dyed up the fabric and everything, and then somebody told me that the pattern I got for this was pirated. So I stopped, and I didn't cast it on. Painting Fairy Cross Stitch has this, and it has been approved to be given, to be sold as a stamped kit. I'm good. And that is the European Town. And it says new print. So this was out of print, and now it is in print again, only through Painting Fairy Cross Stitch. And it is freaking gorgeous. This piece, I believe it's less than 6 feet long now because I chose the 16 count version. But this is how long this piece is. Okay, so it is, stitch-wise, I believe this is 800 and at least 95 by, okay, let's roll this back up some. Oh no, I picked 18 count. I hate 2/2 on 18 count. Am I gonna be able to do this? Okay, I'll just start it and see. If you know what? I'm not gonna be mad if I reorder it for 16 count. Okay, so it is 185 long by 150 tall. So I'm curious, let's do the math on that. I think we just square it, right? So if we do, and I know this isn't completely full coverage, but I'm just gonna act as if it is. So 95 times 150, was it? Yeah, 150. 134,250 stitches, or squares, whatever you wanna call it. So let's say, because of the empty spaces up top, let's put it at an even 100,000 stitches on this. I've got all the floss. I've got everything I need. The only thing I don't have, which is why I wanted the floor stand for Christmas, was a floor stand so that I could have this on a stand and be stitching on it as I sit here, right? Didn't get it. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Spice drop. So I will be casting this on New Year's Eve. So in you know what? On January 31st, I might wake up at 4 in the morning and just start stitching on it because I'm that impatient. And I told myself New Year's Eve doesn't mean I have to wait until the evening to start this. Okay? Okay. In here is my Jingle Bell Ball kit from Heartstrings Samplery, the bell pull. And I plan on stitching that in 2026. Start to finish. Here's what it looks like. I did not get this done for the Jingle Bell Ball, but I did watch the class, and she gave a lot of really great options to go as detailed on the finish or as simple on the finish as you want. So I'm really happy about that. Then in here, I've got 2 Bothy Threads kits from my collection that I really want to start. But I also really want to open these up because I was just watching somebody else's Whip Parade, a lady from the UK, and she was showing a bunch of her Bothy thread kits that she has started over the years. And I will say I got a little bit intimidated because of what she was saying about them. So I'm going to open it up and take a look. But I have, is it Christmas House? Yeah, Christmas Townhouse. Which, how is that a townhouse? It's not connected to other buildings. But I guess townhouse in the UK means something different. I mean, maybe a townhouse, what I consider a townhouse would actually be considered a row house over there, right? And then the wool shop. And on this one, I can't decide. The only thing Christmassy about this is the wreath on the door. So either I'm not gonna care, about the wreath and just still have this up year round, or I am going to rechart this area to be without the wreath so I can have this up year round. I wonder, so it's got this QR code on the back and it says scan me. I wonder, I've never done that on this. Let's see. Okay, let's see what it says, what it goes to. Spice drop. Merry Christmas. We use cookies for our site. Okay. Oh, it just takes you to the Bothy Threads website, which I've never been to. The Christmas townhouse I bought off of Hirschner's. And I have no idea where I bought this one. Probably on Etsy. You know what? It says open with care. Let's just open this right now together and take a look. Obviously, I wasn't opening with care. Okay, time to thread your needle. Okay, so there's that. What's this? The Bothy Threads outlet shop. It has an outlet shop. Go ahead and scan that QR code if you can. Outlet usually means cheaper. I want to become a wholesaler for them, so I have to contact them. Okay, and then here's the rest of what it looks like in here. So why don't we take, oh, okay, that's the pattern. So here is, wow, that is a book. Oh. What is going on here? Okay, so pattern, and then you must be the, oh, interesting. It's got some instructions for different stitch styles. And then, of course, the legend. Okay, and then here is the piece with the threads. So I like how they've done this. It's just a blank, let's see, what count did I get? It's on 14 count Zweigart. So that's gonna be an easy stitch, 14 count. Look at those colors. Ah, who wouldn't want to stitch this, right? So this might also be a New Year's Eve cast on because it's winter time and this is the wool shop season, and yeah, makes me happy. I also really want to go over and see my friend Kay at the wool shop and see how she's doing. Far North Yarn Company. Let's see how she's doing. I need to do that. Because I'm a little disappointed. One of my friends is opening up a yarn shop. I'm excited and then disappointed too, because one of my friends is opening up a yarn shop. And to me, it kind of feels like she's poaching on Kay, you know, my surrogate mom that has owned the yarn shop, the only yarn shop in town forever. But then again, I absolutely love my friend that's opening the yarn shop. So I'm going to be quiet. All right, so this is in no particular order. Actually, there is a little bit of order because, where are you? Okay, so here's another thing that I got from, thought I got this from Painting Fairy Cross Stitch, but they have a series of stamped kits, and it has every month house. It doesn't say who the designer is. 12-month small house. So this is the 12th month. So this is December. So I guess January's at the back. But they're they're really manageable. Let's just be honest. Stamped kits on 14 count. And all of the kits comes with thread bobbins and everything. So let me pull out January, because that's my idea is that I would start and hopefully finish each month within the month. So Here's the January one that I'm going to start right away. That's cute. I like that. What I don't like is that you can't see the snowman, really. And, well, that's weird though. Because here you can see that the snowman is white and then the front of the house is a blue. But on the stamped, oh no, they are two different colors. Okay. I just wasn't paying attention. So one of the things that I sometimes do when I don't feel like the white will show up for the snow is I will sometimes change it to a very light gray, like the super lightest gray you can get, or kind of you know how they say don't eat the snow, don't eat yellow snow. I kind of will change it to a little bit with a white with a tiny bit of a yellow tint to it. So I might do that on that one. But I've got the entire series, all 12 months in here. And so I plan on casting on January, on the 1st of January. Then the rest of these, actually, I'm just gonna pull them out and just show you, okay? So I got this kit, Peace on Earth. And it is a kit. I spent lots of money on it, and I'm gonna stitch it this year. Comes with the fabric. So what fabric do we have? It's called Edinburgh by Zweigart. Natural 36 count natural Edinburgh and Zweigart. It comes with all the fancy flosses, the overdyes. Now we all know that I do not enjoy Weeks Dye Works, but I'm going with it on this one. I've got Classic Color Works. I'm excited. Look at these colors. So this is going to be cast on at some point this year. I have no plans on exact dates or anything. I just know that I'm going to be working on it this year. Okay? And I have no plans on like when this has to be done either. Then I got this kit on a D-stash on Facebook Marketplace. This is a vintage one, but I have no idea the year. Country in Season. And it comes with, fully kitted. And so it comes with the Country Linen by Mills Inc., 14 count. And then it has all the flosses down there. And I love this. Isn't that adorable? Love it. I love the little chimney coming off the end there. Yeah. It's great. So I'm going to be starting that this year. Then I am going to be starting one of my needlework kits. I've had this the longest, and that's why I chose it. But this is a tapestry from Tapestry. This is from Caroline I can't say her name. Caroline Baranese. This, I do not know. I do not think it's got an actual name to it. I can pull it out and see. But I bought this in person when I lived in Portland when I was getting my master's. So this is this has been in my stash for at least 10 years or more. It comes with the yarn. I don't know if it comes with the thread, but it comes with the stamped. Oh, that's stamped linen. That is nice. That's stamped linen. Let's see what I paid for it all those years ago. I got this, oh my gosh. I bought this in 2011. This is almost 15 years old. So with taxes, I paid $47.90. Wow. I bought this in 2011. That's before I moved to Portland. But that's how long I've had this in my stash. 14 years. I think it's about time it comes out to play. Okay. Then I got this from Hirschner's as well. The Bothy Threads 12 Days of Christmas. It's a honkin' huge kit. And there's a lot of gold Kreinik in it. But I'm going to be doing this one. This was expensive. I'm not sure I would recommend buying this. Okay. I don't know. I haven't started stitching it yet. But I'm just saying I'm not so sure that this is worth it, because I believe this was over $100. I can't remember. But it comes on 14 count swag art, pre-sorted stranded threads, pearl, metallic gold, needles, beads, sequins, stitch diagram, and instructions. Finished size is 31 by 42 centimeters. This kit uses full cross stitches, couching, back stitch, and French knots. This is an intense piece. So I will be starting it. I just don't know when, okay? All right, so this next piece is an interesting situation. Do you like how I said that? So I want this so bad. So this is Real Comfort by Plum Street. And there is nothing like staying home for real comfort. And truer words were never spoken. So my thought process on this is that my excuse to cast this on this year, not that I need an excuse, is that we're buying a home. So I get to work on this. Now, the fabric situation is interesting because this calls for a 36 count salt bush using 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads, except where noted. So that's the part where I now have pause, because in my head, I was going to use this, which is a 20 count Ada cream, and I really like it. This is 60 inches by 39 inches tall, so I've got plenty of fabric here to play with, obviously, because I'm not going to need that much. The thing is that if there are some points in which you go from doing 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads, except for, okay, I'm reading that wrong. 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads. So I was reading it that sometimes you would need to go 2 over 2, and sometimes you would need to go 1 over 1. Okay, I don't think there's a problem anymore. I'm just going to go with this. Okay. Because I think what they're talking about here is maybe some back stitching. But my goodness, this is an intense piece. My son just woke up. I'm going to have to go get him. So I'm going to be starting that this year. So keeping those two together. And see, this is what I mean by tags. So I've written all these tags on all of my plans for 20. I don't know why I didn't write all these tags and put them on my project bags of my whips. Like, what was I thinking? All right, everything is gonna fall. Everything is gonna fall. So let me go get Jimmy. I'll be right back. Okay, so Jimmy's up and he's eating spice drops because he loves them just as much as I do, don't ya? Yes. Mwah. Okay, so continuing on, my next huge project that I know of at the moment. Did you want to sit up here with Mommy?
Okay.
Okay, here, we gotta make some room here for you. Let's move this stuff out of the way. Mommy has got herself surrounded. Okay, can you come on up?
I want show.
You want show?
Yeah.
Can you go get it from over there? You gotta unplug it.
Okay.
Can you undo it?
Oh, yeah.
Good job. He is so smart. Okay, thank you. What? Here you go, my lovey. So there might be some background noise now because Jimmy's gonna watch a show. My next big project that I have listed is Hawk Run. Now, I have the pattern for the Houses of Hawk Run and Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. So I think this has all the thread for both, but I'm not positive. I need to pull out my pattern for Houses of Hawk Run and see. I kind of want to start both, but I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to use. So I was kind of thinking that this would be super cute. This is a Lugana, and it's a little bit purplish. This is lilac, and it is 20 count. Lugana. And I thought that would be really cute. But then again, I'm not so sure. It might be good for that. And then for Houses of Hawkrun. And then I did pull out as close as I could get to the called for, which is 36 count Edinburgh linen. It's just a fat quarter, 18 by 26. Brown sugar is the colorway. And I believe on the back it tells you, come on, you can do this. So on 36 count, hold on 14 or 828 count, your finished size will be 19 3/4 inches by 26 1/4 inch. If you go up to 20 count, it'll only be 13 7/8 inches by 18 by 3/8 inches. So if I did 20 count, I would be reducing this by like 60% on size. One skein of mint, okay, so skeins will be required for 32. 2 skeins will be required for 32 or 36 count linen or larger. Okay. And this is 36 count. So I don't know if I've got 2 skeins of each in here. So I just got to figure this out some more. I really need some dedicated time just to my Hawkrun ideas. But I just put things together this last few days of things that I thought would work. Pulled the thread if I had the thread already pulled, because I knew I ordered it from 123 Stitch. So these are possibilities. Oops, Jimmy, careful. Ha ha. And so they're just sitting here ready to go. When I have the brain space or the energy or the time, I'm going to sit down and really concentrate on this. I don't care if I finish the Hawkruns in my 45 for 45. I don't care if I finish it in 2026. I just don't care. At the same time, I do care. I want to stitch on them. But the end time is the part that I'm flexible with. So that's what's going on there. Okay. Oh, and I also, did I pull that? Oh, I also pulled out the rest of this. If you watched my last episode, you'll know that I dyed this up for the fairy village. This is the European town. This is the fabric that I hand dyed up that is 6 feet long. And I was going to use that on the pattern that I originally bought. And I've had this ready and waiting, but this looks like 18 count. And I'm not too keen on 18 count anymore. So I don't know that I would use this for these. For the Hawkruns anyway. I have to just think on things, you know? I really got to figure things out. Yep. All right, my next project in here are my Mill Hill kits that I am not going to be stitching on the paper provided. But the 2 Mill Hill kits that I want to complete this year is the Aurora Borealis and the Cabin Fever. So I pulled these out. This, I believe the equivalent of this on fabric is 14 count. So the fabric I pulled out though is this. It's a 16 count that I got on sale from the Jingle Bell Ball. This is from the Fiberlicious company, but I bought it from, who's the lady that, Lindy Stitches. I bought it from her shop. And this is a 17 by 26. And I thought this color here would be so marvelous with these 2 kits to have. Can I show it all? Right? I thought that would be so pretty. From what I can tell, they are both, okay, no. This one, the Aurora Borealis, is totally full coverage. The only thing you can see of the paper is right there, the tiny edges, so that doesn't matter. The thing that matters for the Cabin Fever that I think is not full coverage is at the top with at the top of the mountain there and on the top of the skyline there. And I think both would look so cute in this colorway. This is a custom cut plain. Oh, okay. This is called Sepia Sorcery, the colorway. And I got it on a deep discount during the ball. Nobody was buying it. I came in there late to that shop and nobody was buying it. And I was like, dude, your loss is my gain. So, okay. This one, oh, this one's so pretty. So this one is The Earth Laughs by With Thy Needle and Thread. And it's a Quaker, but it's also got a house on it. So it's got a combination of kind of like, it's got like primitive overtones. It's got, to me, colonial overtones and then Quaker overtones. But I got all the called for floss and the specialty floss. But I did not get the fabric because I knew I had the fabric. This was a while ago too. So I think I'm going to choose this one. I think it's going to be super cute. This is Pink Sand by Witchalt, and this is 16 count. Jimmy, honey, I need you to be careful. What? Doesn't that just look amazing?
That's so silly, Mommy.
You're so silly, baby. What? Isn't that just going to be amazing? Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to do this one. What's the finished size on this? So finished size is 15 5/8 by 12 on a 36 count. It's 193 wide by 107 by 107 tall. Oh yeah, I've got plenty. Like I don't even need half of this to do this. Okay, so I'm golden. Sometimes I have to kit things up in quite a hurry if my son is awake. Like him giving me this time to record this with you guys, that's astounding. So, and I really do have to hurry because I got to get to my appointment. Okay. This one is so exciting. So, okay. Sorry, I was just trying to figure out what was going on. All right. So I have been wanting to start a Heaven and Earth design for the past couple years, but I've been so intimidated and so scared. So I've been putting it off and putting it off. But then Ann Stewart came out with a new design that I could not say no to. And it's not one of her crazy colors, like 1,000 colors and like, you know, the one that just came out of, what was it called? Cookie Time, Cookie Play, Cookie Sheet. I can't remember. Like, that's not what I want to do. No, not at all. I want to stitch up. Okay, let me see if I can't find it. Mini Glass Castle. That's what it's called. Artwork by Dragon Muse. Chart design by Michelle Sayata. Why was it on the Ann Stewart? Anyway, I don't know. I just can't say no to that. Oh, sorry. Oh, I am so jumpy. Have you guys noticed that? I'm like creeped out ever since I heard. If you watched the last episode at the very end, I had some ghost singing. Can't figure out where the singing was coming from. And ever since then, I've just been really, really jumpy. Look at that. So there are 90 colors in this. I did buy a whole full stack of CXC threads, as in like, I don't know, 300 skeins. So I figure I have all of the colors I'll need for this, for that. And then I am using this Dying for Cross Stitch Easy Grid on 25 count. So what I've heard is that on 25 count, you want to do full cross. On 28 count, you want to do tent stitch with one thread. Full cross on 25 count with one thread. On 28 count, tent stitch, one thread. That's what I have heard. Okay? I don't know, so I'm gonna experiment. So So my thought process is on this piece is that I am going to start all the way up at the top in the corner, and I'm going to work my way down to the very first stained glass division there. And at that point, I'm going to start the full color completion. What do they call it? Extreme cross country, whatever they call that, where you do all the color of one going across, because that's going to make things easier for me. It's going to grid everything out for me. And so my thought process is that as I begin it over here, I'm going to experiment with 1/1 full cross versus 1/1 10th stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to experiment right there, see which one I like most, so that by the time I get to the stained glass lead portion, I'm going to know what I want to do, and I'm just going to run with it at that point. Does that make sense? So this might be a New Year's Eve cast on as well. I'm just telling you, like, I cannot wait. I also purchased the Anne of Green Gables mini from Heaven and Earth. So those are my one and onlys Heaven and Earth designs that I have from them. I might start up the Anne of Green Gables as well. Technically, the image is of Anne of Avonlea. I'm just saying, because by the here, I'll show you. So they call this one the Anne of Green Gables, but excuse me, this is when she's teaching. So now this is Anne of Avonlea. Just saying. I'm really scared about the greens on this one. I don't know if they jumped up the high contrast for the image, or if the greens are going to be that garish and off-putting as I stitch it. I'm going to have to see, because some of these greens are just cartoonish in their depiction. If you know of somebody who's stitched this one, I know there are people out there stitching this. I have even seen Flosstubes. I just can't remember the Flosstubers' names. Can you guys comment down below? Because I really would like to know who's been working on this. All right, I really got to hurry up and stop dilly-dallying, because I have to get to my appointment. I purchased the Fall Feathers kit from, it was one of my favorite sellers on Etsy, but this is by Little House Needleworks, and it comes with the full pack of Classic Colorworks, her fall colors. And I don't think you use all of them in this, but it came as a whole package. But I love Classic Colorworks. I love fall colors, and so there you go. So I'm gonna stitch this up at some point. It's gonna be an easy win. It's gonna be nice and easy. I love chickens. So I'm gonna stitch that up. Then what's this guy? Oh yes, this one's fascinating. Okay, so this is another D-Stash kit that I got off of Facebook. This is a Christmas sampler. This, I believe, is done by Ellen Bennett back in Michigan. I don't know the date of when this was put out. 1989. Oh my gosh. Oh, that just gave me chills. I was 8 years old. Yes, Teddy, mommy just said that. Anyway, it comes with the linen, comes with the floss, comes with all the instructions, washing instructions. Interesting. But this is so pretty. Oh, I haven't even shown you the pattern. Golly Moses, Emily. So that's the pattern. I would say this is my one true sampler that I have. Like, this actually has the lettering and everything on it. I've never been drawn to actual samplers, but I'm going to give this one a try. Anyway, the quote on this says, "Let no pleasure tempt thee, no profit allure thee, no ambition corrupt thee, no example sway thee, no persuasion move thee to do anything which thou knowest to be evil. So shalt thou always live jollily, for a good conscience is a continual Christmas." Quite strange. But yeah, I'm going to give it a try. I've never done a true sampler before. I'm not really a religious stitcher at all. I don't know. I might give it a try. If I don't cast this on in 2026, I'm not going to be upset. But, you know. All right, this one is really fascinating to me. I also got this on a D-stash. This is from the Thomas Kincaid collection, but this is what's fascinating. So this one's called, whoops. I like keeping the little notes that the ladies send. It says, rare find, opened, full kit, whip. But this is a Thomas Kincaid Painter of Light. This is Lamplight Village. And this kit has been started. But what's interesting about this kit is that you do not stitch. This is technically a stamped kit, but you're not stitching this entire thing. Look at this. So see how this is where she started, right there. That's all she did before she destashed it. So this is, I guess, kind of like an accent thing where I'm going to go through and I'm going to actually stitch up pieces of it, but not the entire thing. And then I'm going to frame it and put it up. Isn't that interesting? You okay, baby? Here's the thread that came with it. Sorry. Candamar Designs. Fascinating. Look, there's going to be, look at that color there. To help you organize your floss in this kit, we have included a floss holder, labeled the code number for each color as you separate them. Okay. So anyway, I don't know how old this kit is either, but let's see. So it was copyrighted by the Thomas Kincaid Media Arts Company. Finished size is 10 by 8 inches. 2000, year 2000. So, vintage. Isn't that crazy? So this little baby is in a bag, within a bag. Within a project bag, right? So that's going to be fun. I've never done something like that. So it's going to kind of feel like I'm painting by number almost, you know? All right, so then, okay, I have this situation here where I have all these flosses that I have purchased from people that I know they were for specific kits or patterns. I don't know what patterns they are anymore. I'm so discombobulated. Like this entire huge thing. Look at that. What was this one for? I gotta figure this out. So I have all of these stored in my 2026 starts basket because I want to keep them separate from all the rest of my flosses so that I will be able to find them easier. They won't get jumbled up. Okay, so what's this one? Okay, that one we've already talked about in the Whip Parade. Okay, so continuing on with my easy stitches, I'm going to continue on with my Mountain Scenes 11 count. So I've got this stamped kit and this stamped kit. And I believe that's the last in the series. I think there was only 5. I could be wrong. So I'll double check. But anyway, so those will be easy wins. And then the last 3 kits that I have, this is not by any means the extent or the limit to what I plan on casting on in 2026. So I'm just showing you things that I have ready to go, okay? So from my awesome pattern company, I'm going to be stitching for my sister, the Icons of Germany. Is that what it's called? Germany and Icons. These are not stamped kits. Gimme, these are all counted cross stitch. I'm going to be stitching for my brother-in-law, who is literally from the Ukraine, born and raised until, things went bad. The Kirchhoff. And then for my little brother Zach, who lived in Budapest for many years, I'm going to be stitching, who is the husband to Oleg for Kirchhoff. I'm going to be stitching Budapest. Jamie, please stop that. So there you go. Those are my plans. And now I must rush off to get my nails done. So my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your patience in my discombobulation, but those are what I have ready to roll for 2026. But this in no way means that this is well, some of these things are definite for sure's, cast-ons. Some of these things are, I'm not really sure. Some of these things are, it would be nice. And some of these things are not even in here. I haven't even gotten them kitted up yet. Like, none of my patriotics are kitted up. I got to figure that out. Especially, I got to figure out one to start January 1st, right? For my bingo or my WIPGO board. So, but anyway, thank you so much for joining me, my friends. And remember to stitch what you love and love what you stitch. Happy New Year and ta-ta for now.